What is the meaning of life? Why are we here? The biggest questions of all. The questions that have dogged the greatest minds for centuries. It makes me look up to the heavens in awe at our vast, magnificent universe and wonder at the possibilities of what life is all about. Join me on a journey to understand more about who we are, why we're here, and to discover more happiness, meaning, and purpose. What kinds of ups and downs are you experiencing in your own life? Whether it be a difficult family situation, money problems, health issues, relationship problems, the deaths of nearest and dearest. All of these may well stop you from being happy right now. You may have lots of emotional turmoil in your bowl, lots of storms raging in the water. Now you might say, yes, Ashok, that's nice and flowery, but this is real life. My life isn't the way that I want it to be. And of course, when we go through difficult times, it's easy to become cynical about life, even a bit aloof. Oh, I don't care what happens in my life. Well, let me share some ideas that have helped me in my own life. I realized a while back that I was living life desperately, hoping that nothing bad would ever happen in my life. And when it did, I would get really upset, thinking, why is life like this? Getting angry at God. What had I done to endure such suffering? Gradually, I realized that my battle wasn't with the people and situations of my life. They were happening for a reason. The battle was with my own mind and my own conditionings. The resistances to what was unfolding in my life. The limiting beliefs that I had. The unresolved emotions. It was my mind not accepting the ups and downs of life, which was my real challenge. Consider the possibility that the measure of success in life is how well you deal with your disappointments. It has been said, ups and downs are part of life, but being centered through those ups and downs is the art of life. Now look at these beautiful mountains here. We've got peaks and troughs. But what defines a trough? It's two peaks. So it is with life. We can't have ups in life without the downs. We live in a relative universe, a field of possibilities where opposites can exist. And those opposites are in fact complementary. We can only have good in our lives because there is the possibility of bad. So this can help us accept whatever happens. I don't know whether you can empathize with this feeling, but I recognize in myself this desire for life to have no pain, no challenges. I want life to be smooth sailing, easy, comfortable. Things are good now, I hope it stays that way. This may be the desire of the mind, but not of the soul. We'll be disappointed if we want smooth sailing, because life isn't like that, as you probably well know. Life begins at the end of our comfort zone. And sometimes we just need to have that attitude of humour in our lives as well. It's better to just wonder at the drama unfolding all around us. As I said before, we sometimes just need to lighten up and even laugh at the dramas of our lives. I guess that's why they call it enlightenment. If you're going through a tricky time in your life right now, I don't wish to demean what you're going through. But I would like to give a suggestion in terms of how we can change our perspectives. Changing our perspectives changes our conditionings, and therefore our next projected reality. This is the third S, shift perspective, of the new groove technique in the experiment. When we realize that things are happening for a reason, it helps us to accept the ups and downs of life as part of a grander plan. Here are 3 new perspectives that help me personally when problems come into my life. The first perspective change is, this is happening for my growth. The second one is, this is my own creation. And the third one that helps me is, this too will pass. This is happening for my growth. It is often only the storms of our lives, the difficulties in life, that can destroy our conditionings and help us heal. Only then do we turn knowledge into wisdom. Wisdom is the practical commitment to live the knowledge. Let me share a story with you. A man is walking in a forest and sees a butterfly struggling to get out of a cocoon. He felt a sudden sympathy for the butterfly. So he immediately got out his penknife to cut open the cocoon and free that poor butterfly. He opened the cocoon, but as soon as he opened it, the butterfly fell to the ground. It tried to fly, but it couldn't. The man was disappointed. Why couldn't the butterfly just fly away? Because by struggling in the cocoon, the butterfly was able to strengthen its wings, so by the time it got out, it could spread its wings and fly. Whatever you're going through right now in your life, reflect on how that situation might be helping you grow, or how you might be becoming stronger as a result of it. What amazing quality from within you is being expressed? Remember we said that our conditionings influence our reality. It's not that we choose them consciously, but the outer world is a reflection of our inner world. Our past actions and our mindset create the current reality for our growth. We are responsible for our reality. We're not the victim of our reality. When we take responsibility for the people and situations in our lives, we discover the strength to surmount even the greatest of adversities. For instance, let's look at people in our lives that we are reacting to. We're getting stressed, angry, upset, and we can blame that person for making us feel that way. We can feel a victim of life. We want them to change. We resist them, and what we resist persists. But consider the possibility that we invited this person to come into our lives to help us grow in some way. Every person, as bad as they behave, might be an angel with a gift for us. There might be a soul contract. I'll help you become aware of your conditionings if you help me become aware of mine. That is real love. And it's okay to become self-absorbed here. Absorbed into the self. Now that doesn't mean being selfish, but what we mean here is that we can stop focusing on how the other person is behaving, but focus on what we need to learn to move forward. And that journey is often 4 stages. From resistance, so I wish this person would change, to tolerance. Okay, I can put up with this person. To acceptance. This person is the way they are, I accept them. And the hardest step is towards love and compassion. That I love this person just the way they are. The only thing in life that is constant is change. Life is a constant flow of changing events. What's a problem now will eventually go away. Now we worry because we think that our current problem will be with us forever. But it's all temporary in the grand scheme of things. We worried about things in our past, but it didn't help. Things changed and we handled it, we got through it. And your faith that this too will pass is the life jacket in times of great need. We can also put our temporary problems in the context of the vastness of creation. Our lives are a tiny speck in time and space. We are just part of one solar system, one sun. And there are maybe trillions of suns, trillions of stars in our galaxy, and maybe around 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe. And this universe has existed for 14 billion years. And who knows if there might also be huge numbers of universes. Why do these ups and downs come into our lives? In life, our conditionings have to be exhausted or released. When very tricky times come into life, it could be a sign that a groove in our minds is ready to be removed. The dirt is ready to be removed from the bowl. In order for this to happen, we may experience some very difficult and challenging situations, creating difficult emotions, sometimes known as the dark nights of the soul. These difficult situations can last weeks or even months, and they can cause deep emotional pain. But that pain does not need to turn into lasting suffering. Pain is unavoidable, but lasting suffering is optional. What can be our life jacket is the knowledge. Once or twice in our lives, we may go through intense periods where it can feel like we're completely broken down. Every concept that we clung onto seems to fall away, and then we can be in a state of confusion, a real dark night of the soul. As painful as this may be, afterwards we realize that this was a transformation, the transformation of the caterpillar into the butterfly, for a powerful new version of us to emerge. For me, this was when I went through a few years of severe illness. In that moment, we can choose to stay as calm and as centered as we can, though the storms may be raging around us. That is why we do the experiment. to build the muscle of being able to handle anything that life throws at us in a calm way. Forbearance. Be the eye of the storm and keep surrendering using the tools in the experiment. You will get through it. Many great traditions of the world talk of faith. It is our faith which keeps us going through the dark tunnels of life. What can we have faith in? Faith that my life has a purpose. Faith that I can discover this purpose. And faith that I will fulfill this purpose. Now, it might also be faith in a particular figure from our religion or spirituality or even nature. What matters is the power of the faith itself, the trust to flow with the rhythms of life. And we need to be prepared for our faith to be tested, because our faith only has value when it's tested. Life is a beautiful journey that we're all on. A journey home. A journey back to blue. Whereas before, life was a tumultuous journey through the storms of our lives, now life can be an adventure. And we have access to the tools in the experiment to navigate the choppy waters of our lives. The knowledge is the rudder that helps you navigate your boat to calmer seas. Your self-awareness is the sails that can catch the winds of grace that are always flowing in your life. And your presence, your stillness, is your ability to be in the eye of the storm, the inner peace within. Sometimes it may not seem so, but I think life is supposed to be a fun adventure, a joyous experience. Of course, sometimes it will feel like that and sometimes it won't. But we have the choice each moment to shift our perspectives and see it as a fun adventure. The fun is in changing our perspectives, changing our mindset. To stay as centered as possible, no matter the people and situations that turn up in our lives. That helps us to realize a truth, that we are on a journey home, a magnificent voyage of discovery back to blue. Ups and downs in life are bound to happen. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Challenges strengthen our ability to stay as centered as possible, no matter the storms that we're experiencing. We can deal with challenges gracefully by shifting perspective at step 3 of the New Groove technique. And there are 3 main perspective shifts that help me. The first one is that this is happening for my growth, and then inquiring into what that growth might be. The second perspective shift could be, at the highest level, this is part of my own creation. And I invited this personal situation into my life as a messenger for my own growth. And thirdly, things change. It's just temporary, and this too will pass. Challenges help us dissolve our conditionings if we remain as centered and non-attached through difficult times. Challenges also help us to become more sensitive and more aware of the effects of our words and actions on other people. Our faith in ourselves, faith in the process of life, and in something higher can guide us through the storm. And gratitude for what we already have is also important. In the next set of 3 videos, we'll look at how we can directly discover our life purpose. And I'm excited to share this process with you.